Welcome back, everyone. Nick and Lex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today we got a request by JK for Halloween, and I wanted to thank you for sponsoring this video. I appreciate it. And let's take a look here what JK wrote me in the email. It's short and sweet here, real quick. It says, hi Nick, here's an old but timeless song for Halloween. It's Season of the Witch by Donovan from the album Sunshine Superman 1966. Happy Halloween, JK. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Wonderful. Let's take a look. Let's get into it. I pulled up the record, and let's see here. Donovan, Sunshine Superman, and I'm loving it. I love the artwork. Very flower powery, you know. 1966. And yeah, well, let's get into it. This song has 75 million plays. Wow. So I'm sure a lot of you folks out there will know this. Maybe I'll know this. You know, sometimes it does, you know, happen that these songs that are like these timeless songs that we've either heard them before or maybe a little, you know, piece of it in, I don't know, on the radio, the television, movies and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'll definitely let you guys know. 75 million. And let's get into it. So this is Season of the Witch by Donovan 1966. Let's check it out. Again, thank you so much for being here, everyone, for your comments, for your likes. Subscribe to the channel. It's still 80% of all people that watch the channel are not subscribed. If you see that little white button that says subscribe, push that. That's all you have to do. It's free of charge. There's no monthly subscription or anything. It really helps out to know if people like are, you know, watching or not and stuff like that. So here it is, Season of the Witch. Let's give it up for Donovan. Thank you.
When I look out my window, many sights to see.
No, I don't.
When I look in my window, so many different people to be, that it's strange, so strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. Must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch, yeah. Must be the season of the witch.
That bass line is very, very epic.
When I look over my shoulder, what do you think I see? Some other cat looking over his shoulder at me, and he's strange, sure is strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch, yeah. Beatniks out to make it rich. Oh no, must be the I look out my window, what do you think I see? And when I look in my window, so many different people to be. It's strange, sure is strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. The rabbits running in the ditch. Oh no, must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch, yeah. Must be the season of the witch. Where'd I go? Where'd I go?
Wow. Very good. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that I didn't know it, because I've never heard this before. And I'm usually like, well, yes, I've heard the intro, I've heard the chorus. And it's not like we don't watch, Halloween movies or like scary movies that are not like horror or like, but just, like, what was it? The one that Alexia, Hocus Pocus. I don't know. Maybe it's in that, or the one with the mouse witches, or how Hollywood uses a lot of successful tunes. I've never heard this before. Not even nothing. The bass line, but it did remind me the bass line. I think the bass line it has a little bit of a similarity with the Ramble On by Led Zeppelin, which was of course written after this. So, but there's so much music that sounds similar in the world. Just the style, obviously it's 66. It reminded me a little bit of Lou Reed, the style of singing, the delivery, and then that organ of the Doors. But it's just things that remind me of that particular time and the particular style of music at that time. The Doors in the 60s were huge, the late 60s. And then Led Zeppelin was huge in the early 70s. Also, I think 68, 69, that's when they started to really become famous. So that bass line reminded me of Ramble On. So a lot of people think like, oh, I'm saying, oh, they're copying each other. No, it's just, there's only a couple of the same notes that just repeat themselves, and there's just with the pentatonic scale, it could be like, oh, this is the same solo. It's because that's the scale that's very commonly used in rock and blues and music in general. The pentatonic scale, the blues scale, the major scale and stuff like that. So that doesn't mean that they're copying each other. It's just music tends to sound the same after hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs using the same techniques and the same chords, and progressions tend to repeat themselves. But this was great. This was a really cool song. I loved it. And but yeah, I'm shocked. I because I was like, well, when I saw the amount of views, and this is just Spotify, this is just since Spotify, it's been up 75 million views. I was like, yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna know something, maybe like the chorus or the intro. It sometimes happens, but no, I was surprised that I didn't know anything. Maybe Sunshine Superman, maybe I know that one. But it has only 50 million views, so who knows. But yeah, this was very cool, very interesting. I loved it. Very fun. And tomorrow we're actually going to go to hear, it's called Elegies, and it's like Six Flags, and they have like this whole Halloween display. So we're going to be able to walk through cemeteries, and there's like people they're gonna scare us and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's where, for the first time where I heard that song, and it was like three pumpkins singing it. They were animated. I think their faces were animated with like with like a light, so it looked like they were actually moving, and the pumpkins were just real pumpkins, and so they had like faces drawn with I think some kind of light that shines on them, and they were doing that very famous it was a midnight smash. That's the first time I've ever heard that a couple of years ago. And Alexia was just shocked. She's like, "You don't know this? Like, I've heard this since I was a kid, you know?" And I'm like, "Yes, but they don't play this in Germany. We don't do Halloween." And until recently. So right now there's we have a German student that's staying and with not with us but with relatives, and I asked her, "Do you guys do like Halloween now?" Because we wouldn't do Halloween, we would do Fasching. Fasching is a holiday where you dress up as anything, but it's not just horror themed. It's just like you can be a cowboy. I was always a cowboy or a pirate or something like that, or a police officer. But yeah, I would always dress up. I would also dress up as like a monster, Dracula, and stuff like a vampire. But it's not just like horror themed. But they slowly started doing it now in Germany. But she's like, oh, all the old people hate it because they're the tradition in Germany is Fasching and it's not Halloween. So all the old folks are like, get out of here, when you go trick or treating in Germany, because that's not, and it's the same in Mexico. I remember in Mexico, they have the Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, which is literally a day after Halloween. And so people, but the kids, the young kids are like, Halloween, Halloween. They go and they knock on your door, and a lot of people don't participate with it because they want their Day of the Dead, which is more like I don't know if you ever seen the movie Coco, you'll know what it's about. It's about honoring the dead, and it's a totally different concept than Halloween. You don't dress up and like as a monster, that's more American. But yeah. So but I enjoy Halloween. It's a beautiful holiday, I think. I like all holidays, everything. If I get to dress up as something, or just participate or put on a sweater, like for Christmas, and we wouldn't do that in Germany. It was more like, let's go to church and we'll have dinner, and then we'll do gifts at 12, and that's it, and then you guys go to bed. It wasn't like on the 25th we get up, and it's totally different in Germany. You don't do that of getting up the next day and then doing your gifts. You do them at night and then you go to sleep. It's kind of weird. Yeah, and here I remember that in Mexico they would do that more, the American version of doing the gifts in the morning, and I was like, why wait? So it's different cultures. I love that stuff. But again, this was a great song, a little bit about different cultures, Germany, Mexico, and the US. And it's kind of fun to live in all those three because we're constantly going back and forth. We haven't really been to Germany that much, only just once, Alexia and I, but she loved it, and she was like, I would love to live here. I would just like to stay. And I was like, yeah, I know. So, but yeah, it is what it is. Again, thank you so much, Jackie, for this. This was very interesting, very fun, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down, whatever you feel like. Leave a comment. What are you going to do for Halloween, or do you celebrate Halloween? And let us know in the comment section. We'll love to read your comments. Thank you so much. See you all in the next one.